London is just 2 weeks behind new lockdown regions in northern England, Sadiq Khan warns. The Mayor of London said he is extremely concerned about the speed of rising infection rates in the capital amid the latest evidence from public health experts. It comes following news that pubs and restaurants could shut within days as the Prime Minister was warned of no alternative to a second lockdown. Boris Johnson said a second lockdown was the last thing anybody wants, but that current measures would need to be kept under review. Mr. Khan also warned it is increasingly likely the capital will be next to go into local lockdown as more measures were announced for the north of England in the Midlands. He said, "According to the latest evidence I've seen, we're about 2 weeks behind some parts of the country. That's why I'm saying to Londoners, please follow the advice." The latest restrictions announced yesterday cover parts of the Midlands, the North West and West Yorkshire. It means from Tuesday, an additional 4.7 million people will live under extra COVID-19 restrictions, bringing the total in England to 10.7 million, The Times reports. Mr. Khan said, "What we've seen in other parts of the country, and in the northeast in particular, is an instruction for bars and restaurants to close at 10 p.m. The reason for that is to minimize the amount of hours people spend socializing, which can increase the risk of the virus spreading. We're looking into all possibilities in London, and we're looking to see which policies across the country are successful." On Friday, the government released its latest surveillance report, which monitors the levels of coronavirus in England and decides which areas need intervention. Londoners fear the capital could soon be placed on the watch list for the first time after increases in coronavirus rates are predicted. Speaking yesterday, Mr. Khan held an emergency meeting with London council leaders and issued a lockdown warning. He said, "The Prime Minister has said that we are now seeing the start of a second wave of COVID-19 across the UK. Londoners should also know that I am extremely concerned by the latest evidence I've seen today from public health experts about the accelerating speed at which COVID-19 is now spreading here in London. This is made worse by the uncertainty caused by the lack of testing capacity in the capital. This afternoon I held an emergency meeting with London council leaders, the government and Public Health England to discuss the next steps. It is increasingly likely that, in London, additional measures will soon be required to slow the spread of the virus. We will be considering some of the measures which have already been imposed in other parts of the UK. I am of the firm view that we should not wait, as happened 6 months ago, for this virus to again spiral out of control before taking action. The best thing for both public health and the economy is new restrictions imposed early, rather than a full lockdown when it's too late, but the government must urgently ensure there is a fully functioning testing system. I strongly urge all Londoners to be as cautious as possible over this weekend. Please think very carefully about your actions, strictly follow social distancing rules, regularly wash your hands and wear a face covering to help reduce the spread of the virus. The London Mayor has also accused the government of incompetence over Londoners not being able to book coronavirus tests. He said, "I'm angry at the incompetence of the government that has led to Londoners being refused a test.